Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be tackling some really interesting stuff you sent our way.
Yeah, you've been digging deep, it seems. Lots of articles, notes, really digging into this whole data revolution thing.
It seems like everyone wants to know how data is changing the game, and not just like small tweaks here and there, but like massive shifts in industries across the board.
Totally. So that's our mission today, to uncover the most mind-blowing, useful stuff from all the research you gave us. Get ready for a wild ride.
Okay, so one of the things you sent over that really jumped out was the transcript from that CloudBenders podcast. They kept hitting on this phrase, data-driven innovation. What do you make of that?
Well, I think, to me at least, it goes beyond just using data to do the same old things better. This is about using data to do entirely new things, stuff we never even thought possible before.
Like, we're not just talking about improving the horse and cart, we're talking about inventing the car.
Right? Exactly. It's that level of game-changing. Think about it. We used to rely on intuition or, I don't know, like limited data, small experiments. Now we've got companies drowning in data, and they're using it to make incredibly impactful decisions, design never-before-seen products, even predict the future.
And not just vague predictions, but predictions based on massive data sets, giving them almost scary accuracy, like having a data-powered crystal ball.
Exactly. I mean, look at Tesla.
Yeah, they keep coming up.
They're not just building cars, right?
Yeah.
Each one of those vehicles is a data-gathering machine on wheels. Every mile driven by every Tesla owner is feeding back into their systems, making their autonomous driving tech better at a pace we've never seen before.
So, are we really buying a car, or are we buying into this data-driven future of transportation? It's kind of a mind-bending thought. What do you think?
I think it's both. And honestly, I think it shows how Tesla is not just disrupting the car industry, but the tech industry too. The lines are getting seriously blurry.
And it's not just flashy cars either. Data's revolutionizing things much closer to home. Healthcare, for example. Think about all the potential of personalized medicine.
Oh yeah, treatments tailored to your unique DNA.
Exactly. I was looking at the stuff you sent over on 23andMe and Tempus. They're using our genetic data to figure out individual risk factors and personalize interventions.
It's like instead of getting a one-size-fits-all treatment plan, you're getting something tailored to your exact needs.
A bespoke medical suit, you could say.
And hopefully, with that personalized approach, you get more effective treatment with fewer side effects. It's incredibly promising.
Absolutely. But it's more than just personalizing existing treatments, right? What about predictive diagnostics? The idea of using AI to spot health issues before they even become a problem.
Think about it. Remember that health scare you had last year? What if you'd known about the possibility months, years earlier?
Yeah, that would have been life-changing.
Exactly. Predictive diagnostics could do that. I mean, imagine your smartwatch, which is already tracking your heart rate and all that, could pick up on subtle changes that suggest an increased risk of heart disease years before you even feel anything.
That's incredible and also a little unnerving. Like, knowing that information so far in advance, it's a lot to process.
For sure. But that's what makes this field so fascinating. We're moving from reactive healthcare to proactive, using data to anticipate and potentially even prevent serious conditions.
Wow. So we've gone from self-driving cars to personalized medicine. And of course, no deep dive into data would be complete without talking about how it's transforming retail.
Oh, absolutely. We see it every day, but most people don't realize the level of sophistication involved.
Like with hyper-personalization. That article you shared on Amazon was a real eye-opener.
Right. Amazon's like the poster child for this. Their recommendation engine, I mean, it's like they've got a direct line to our brains sometimes.
It's kind of creepy how well they seem to know what I want.
It's all about the data. They're analyzing every click, every purchase, how long you hover over that new pair of shoes. They're using that data to figure out what you want, sometimes even before you do.
It's wild. And effective, apparently. 35% of Amazon sales come from those recommendations, according to that article.
That's huge. But it's not just about knowing what people want. It's about making sure it's there when they want it. That's where inventory optimization comes in. Remember that case study you sent on Walmart?
Yeah, it blew my mind how they're using data to predict demand with crazy accuracy.
Right. They analyze mountains of data, making sure the right products are available in the right quantities at the right time in the right stores. No more running out of your favorite cereal.
And it's not just about stuff we buy, it's also about how we get around. I was completely floored by this whole smart cities concept.
Oh yeah, it's like something out of a movie, except it's real.
That example with the traffic system in Singapore, I mean, that's nuts.
Instead of just having your average everyday traffic lights, they've got this whole system that's constantly analyzing real-time data and actually adjusting traffic flow to combat congestion.
It's basically a city that adapts to its citizens instead of the other way around. That's wild.
Totally. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Think about garbage bins that send alerts when they're full, so trucks only go out when they need to. Or streetlights that adjust their brightness based on the actual conditions.
It's amazing how data can make a city more efficient and more responsive to the needs of its people. But speaking of getting around, we can't forget about self-driving cars. Autonomous fleets used to seem like something straight out of science fiction. But with what companies like Waymo and Uber are doing, it feels like we're on the verge of a total transportation revolution.
Imagine a world with way fewer accidents because you've taken human error out of the equation. No more driver fatigue or distractions, smoother traffic flow, less congestion. Plus, it could give people who can't drive themselves a whole new level of freedom.
No kidding. It would be a complete game changer. But we're not quite there yet, right? I mean, there are still some big hurdles to overcome.
For sure.
Like, what happens in those unavoidable accident situations? How does a self-driving car make those split-second life-or-death decisions? That's heavy stuff.
Those are the million-dollar questions everyone's trying to figure out right now.
Yeah.
The technology is moving incredibly fast, but we also need to have some serious conversations about the ethics involved, about safety regulations, all that, to make sure that these autonomous vehicles can navigate the real world responsibly.
It's a lot to wrap your head around. This whole deep dive has been one mind-blowing thing after another. And guess what? We're not even done yet. We still haven't even touched on those super futuristic trends like AI-driven discovery and quantum computing.
Yeah, all the big ones. Get ready, because things are about to get really wild.
I'm strapped in. Let's do it.
So imagine a world where AI isn't just a tool, but actually a partner in scientific research.
You're blowing my mind here.
That's the whole idea behind AI-driven discovery. We're talking about AI systems that can analyze massive data sets and pick out patterns, connections, things that we as humans might completely miss.
So instead of just crunching numbers, the AI is coming up with its own hypotheses, leading to breakthroughs we wouldn't have gotten to on our own. That's incredible.
Exactly. Imagine what that could mean for fields like medicine, material science, even our understanding of the universe. And then we've got quantum computing, which is in a whole other league.
Okay, now you're going to have to explain that one. I'm picturing some kind of supercomputer from a movie, but I'm sure the reality is even more complex.
Think of it this way. If a regular computer is like a bicycle, a quantum computer is like a spaceship. That's the level of difference in processing power we're talking about.
Okay, wow. And that power comes from...
Quantum mechanics. It's a whole different ballgame.
All right, you're going to have to break that down for me. Quantum mechanics. I'm lost.
Basically, instead of just being a 0 or a 1, a quantum computer can be in multiple states at the same time. That lets them do calculations at speeds that would make a supercomputer look like it's standing still.
So we're talking about solving problems in minutes that would take our computers years, maybe even centuries to figure out.
Exactly.
It's mind-boggling. But what does that actually mean for data? What could we do with that kind of computing power that we can't even dream of doing now?
Imagine analyzing the entire human genome in the blink of an eye, creating truly personalized medicine based on your unique DNA. Or developing entirely new materials, new drugs, by simulating their behavior at the atomic level.
I mean, that's just next-level stuff. It's almost like we're on the verge of a whole new era of scientific discovery, and it's all driven by data and these insane computing technologies.
Totally. It's like we're standing at the very edge of this whole new world, and data is the key that unlocks the door.
This deep dive has been incredible. We've gone from self-driving cars to personalized medicine to AI designing who knows what in the future. And the thing is, we're just getting started.
It's true, and that's what makes this whole thing so exciting. It's not just businesses or scientists using data anymore. It's everywhere, part of our everyday lives, and we're generating more and more data every single day. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
So where do we go from here? What happens when AI is designing our cities or diagnosing our illnesses or, I don't know, even composing our symphonies?
Those are the questions we need to start asking. How do we use the power of all this data responsibly and ethically? How do we even begin to prepare for a future where the line between the physical world and the digital world is barely even there?
It's kind of exhilarating and more than a little terrifying at the same time.
Definitely. But one thing's for sure. Data is going to continue to reshape our world, probably in ways we can't even imagine right now.
So, to everyone listening, we'll leave you with this. The future is being written in data. What will your chapter say? What role will you play in shaping this data-driven world? Keep asking those questions, stay curious, and who knows what you might discover. Thanks for joining us for this incredible deep dive. We'll see you next time.